Today, I was thinking about a very common mistake that I see a lot of people make. It's not only consumers that make this mistake, but it's actually real estate agents that make this mistake as well. In fact, everybody in the world has made this mistake. I'm guilty of this mistake numerous times. In fact, I'm guilty of it today. When I get out of here, I'm gonna go and make this mistake as soon as I leave. So what am I talking about? And what does it have to do with real estate? Well, let's get into it. So I'm talking about what I like to call the fast food analogy. So when I leave here, I'm gonna go and grab something to eat, like a lot of people. In fact, I'm sure I'll be waiting online to get my food. And I'm gonna grab something quick, easy, hot, and ready to go. Why is that a mistake? Well, here's the deal. Fast food is cool if you want fast food. Sometimes you just want some hot, salty fries like you had when you were a little kid. You know, it gives you memories of playing outside at the playground. Or maybe you just have a little guilty pleasure and you're in the mood for a late night bacon burger or something. That's cool. That's all well and good. But what about today? Well, when I got up this morning, I wasn't planning on getting fast food for dinner. I wasn't thinking, oh, I can't wait to get out of work so I can go and swing through a drive-through. That was not my intention. What happened was I put myself in a situation where that's pretty much my only option. Would I rather have a home-cooked meal? Probably. Home-cooked meals tend to be cheaper. They tend to be healthier. And if you're a good cook, they tend to be better, frankly. So why eat fast food? Lack of preparation. And that is what I want to talk about today, is lack of preparation and how that affects us in real estate. So let's talk about the consumer side first. Well, as a consumer, buyer or seller, lack of preparation really means lack of knowing who you're going to use for your transaction. A lot of times I see people say, well, I want to buy a house, let me go find a realtor. Well, chances are your motivations for buying a house are already high. You're already there. So you're going to be buying this house whether you find a good realtor or not. And chances are you're going to not spend a whole lot of time looking for the best agent. So when is the best time to look for an agent? Anytime. If you're a consumer and you know you're going to buy or sell a house at some point in the future, even if it's years away, why not start looking for an agent now? Do you think it's too early? Do you think the agent's going to be mad that you tried to speak to him or her about buying that house? Well, here's the deal. An agent's job is to market. We are marketers first. So if we have a problem with making a connection now and marketing to you for a little while and just keeping that relationship alive for a year or two until you're ready to buy a house, chances are we're not really good at our job. That's our job. It's to market. It's to keep in touch with people. In fact, when you go to sell a house, you're going to want an agent who is good at keeping in touch with people, giving them good news. Hey, I got a new house for sale. You don't want an agent who just only talks to the people that are in his immediate circle today. That's not the agent you want. You want the agent who's been building his network for years, someone who has instant reach to a vast number of people. Don't ever think it's too early to find yourself a real estate professional, a lender, an inspector, or anything else. If there's an agent out there and you feel like this guy's he doesn't really answer my questions, he's not really helpful, or if you feel like you just feel the vibes off, well, you've got plenty of time because you're not buying right now. When you find a strong agent, remember that person's probably going to be your real estate agent for life. So you're going to buy that house, but you know what? Who knows, in another 7 or 10 years, you might sell that house. You might be buying another one. That agent wants to connect with you. They want to be a part of your life. Remember that. That's what good real estate agents do, especially like I talked about in my last video, an agent who's in it long term. So if you find yourself an agent who's doing this long term, who says, hey, this is my career, this is what I do, this is my passion, they're not going to mind if you're a little early, if you jump the gun. And then when the time comes and you say, now I'm ready to make that move, guess what? You've got that great agent. You can just call them up and say, hey, I'm ready. You're not going to get stuck with a junk food agent. You're not going to have to post your post on social media and say, hey, I'm looking to buy a house. Anyone know an agent? And now have a list 200 miles long of agents saying, me. How do you tell who's good? How do you tell who's bad? But the thing is, now you're already like, well, I'm up against the gun. My lease is up in 60 days. I need to move. I need to do something. So let me try this agent. And guess what? If he's good or if he's bad, you're going to use him or her. No matter what, because now you're facing a time crunch. You need to get a house. And does it matter what agent you use? Absolutely it does. This is why when we make this mistake with fast food, right? The stakes are small. If I go eat a burger tonight, okay, well, life goes on. But I don't want to make that mistake of not being prepared when the stakes are high. Buying or selling a house is high stakes. That's not something you want to do on a whim. That's not something you want to find someone to help you with on a whim. That's thousands of dollars. That is a place you're going to live and possibly your loved ones are going to spend a lot of time at. So you want to be prepared. That's not a small fly-by-night, fly-by-the-seat of my pants kind of decision. Prepare yourself. Sellers, even more so. Hey everybody, just a quick moment to mention, if you are enjoying the video, if you feel like you're getting some benefit from it, like and subscribe to the channel, please. Also, be sure to mention how much they've helped, because I want other people to watch these videos as well and benefit, and also sign up for the free coaching as well. So back to the action. Even more importantly for sellers, because now that's really your money is at risk. If you choose a weak agent, a junk food agent, guess what happens? That house is not going to sell. And you know what you're going to have to do to sell it? You're going to do the old price slash, right? And when you start slashing prices, it's not going to be a couple bucks. It's going to be a lot of money. 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. Go look on Zillow. Go look at the stats. Go look at what happens when houses sit for a long time. See how much money they go down by. Look for any home that's been on the market for 50 days or 100 days and see how much the price drops by. Thousands. So you're playing with big numbers here, big money. That extra 5 or 10,000, that can go a really long way. Now let's talk about real estate agents, because I said real estate agents are guilty of this as well. One of the things that I've noticed with real estate agents is when they are picking a brokerage or choosing a brokerage to move to, sometimes they move a little fast and they don't do the research all the way. They either get their license or they go all the way to getting their license if they're new, and then they say, well, I'm ready to now start working and let me go look for a brokerage. If you haven't selected a brokerage, your license is burning a hole in your pocket. And you're like, I need to work somewhere and fast. So the first broker that you know, the first agency that you see, you might walk in there and say, hey, can I work here? I want to work here. And you might be getting a terrible deal from that brokerage. I don't know. Or maybe there's a better deal out there to be had. Maybe there's a brokerage that's more suited to your needs or can provide you with more that will help your career, help you to make more money. But you're going to the first place you see because that license is burning a hole in your pocket. Or a lot of times when agents are getting ready to transfer from one brokerage to another, the reason is because they're not happy where they are. So now they're in a situation where it's an emotional decision. It's a hurried decision. I got to get out of here. I can't stand this place anymore. And let me see what my friend is doing over here and I'll go over there. Or let me go to this great place I heard about over here. Well, here's the deal. While you're at one agency, what's stopping you from investigating other agencies? Even if you're happy, you can be perfectly content where you are. There's nothing wrong with still looking and seeing what else is available. Because if the time does come where you do decide to make a move, and here's the thing, you're going to at some point probably make a move. Most people do. It's rare that someone's going to stay at one company their whole life, just like it's rare that a consumer's going to stay in one house their whole life. If you think you're never going to buy a house or never going to sell that house, you're probably wrong. Chances are you're going to buy again at some point. You're going to sell that house. Situations change. So be ready ahead of time. There's a good chance you're going to move brokerages at some point in your career. Be ready ahead of time. While you're at one company, look at some other ones and see what they're out there offering. You should know. That way, if the time does come, you already know where you want to go. You're not out there trying to figure it out and making some kind of emotional decision because you're mad at the broker, mad at the team leader or the coach in the office. Maybe the brokerage is great. Maybe it's just someone else who works there that you can't stand and you just want to leave, and that's okay. That happens. That's life. But where are you going to go? Be prepared is the lesson. It's don't wait until you need to do something to now do it or to now research it and figure out how you're going to do it. Plan ahead, think ahead. These things are going to happen. Life changes do happen. You will buy that house. You will sell that house. You will get your license. You will at some point probably even move. from one company to another. So start looking now. Start figuring out where am I going to go when that happens? That is my thought for today. Now I'm going to go and get some fast food and go home. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get a nice home cooked meal.